focus for the AP Capture solution is to maintain a one-person process. By looping the long straps on the tray carry bag over the Pele case handle, you can secure it in place and put the guy rope bag on top, enabling you to wheel these components and the trolley to the chosen area of filming. On arrival at your chosen area, a quick risk assessment should be taken for your environment. Assess weather conditions and the possibility of any public traffic that might impede you or interfere with your working area. Consideration to cordon off your area should be taken. Your weather condition assessment will determine if you need to use the guy rope securing mechanism. The securing bungee cord for the tripod trolley should be put to one side, as it will be utilised later in the setup. Position the tripod in the direction you wish to film, with the rubber circle cable guides pointing away from you towards the area you want to see. On soft ground, you can push the tripod base into the ground for a more secure footing. With one hand on the tripod, keeping it firmly upright, use your other hand to pull out the leg, ensuring that it is fully extended from the body of the tripod. Undo the securing wing nut and enable the leg to fall to the ground. Whilst ensuring that the tripod leg has stayed firmly pressured against the body of the tripod, you can press your foot into the ground spike to ensure the base has a solid connection to the ground. Whilst you are doing this process, you are constantly needing to observe the spirit level device on the main body of the tripod to ensure that the bubble stays in the middle of this levelling device. Repeat this process for the other two legs, ensuring that the tripod remains in a level upright position. As you move from one leg to another, use an appropriate amount of pressure to maintain the level and upright position. If for some reason at the end of the last secured leg you find the tripod has lost its upright position, please restart the process again. We do not advise making small adjustments to the legs after completing this process, as it will affect the position of the base of the tripod. In this first example of assembly, the risk assessment determines there is no need for the guy rope system. We would always still utilise the ground spikes to secure the base firmly into the ground and help to maintain its upright position. They are hammered in at alternative angles through the spike holes. On the laptop tray, unscrew the securing bolt to open the clamp. Position the tray opposite to the rubber ring and direction you are filming. The open clamp will fall into place around the body of the tripod, and you can then tighten to secure the tray. Remove the sun shield from the tray carry bag for later use. After removing the tray rain cover, you can position the tray carry bag at the base of the tripod. This is a waterproof bag and creates a ground sheet or dry environment for the battery system or any other peripheral equipment. Apply some pressure to bend the back of the tray rain cover so that it slips down between the tray and the body of the tripod, allowing you to use the securing pins to attach it on all three sides of the tray. This rain cover will protect your laptop and equipment on the tray in poor weather conditions and also acts as a sun shield in fine weather conditions. Go to the Pele case and take out the camera G bracket. The other components can stay in the Pele case until needed. Put the G bracket into place and position the back in line with the rubber cable rings before tightening securely and removing the camera bag. The rain cover shield is easily positioned around the top of the G bracket just above the camera, using the Velcro to form the shape and then rotating to fit against the G bracket. You can then use the bungee cord from the trolley to wind around the top of the neck of the G bracket and then push down to secure the rain cover in position. Alternatively, you may use insulation tape to do the same thing. Now you need to attach the camera cable. You will notice there is an alignment of pins for the bracket and cable plug to connect to each other. There is a marker on the outside of the plug to help you line up these pins. Thread the cable through the rubber guides before attaching the plug. Please note that this is a delicate process to locate the pins and avoid any damage. When you have the right alignment, the plug will move up a few millimeters as it finds the correct position. Then all you need to do is lightly turn the plug connector until it clicks the outer and top part of the plug fully tight. The main body of the plug should not be twisted or have any pressure applied, as this will cause damage. You are now ready to raise the tripod. You will have a series of securing wheel bolts at each section of the tripod, and these should be in the tightened position prior to raising the tripod. If they've not been tightened from the last use of the tripod, tighten them at this point. Only the top bolt needs to be loosened to start the process. At the base of the tripod you will see the pneumatic pump. This also has a tightening valve which needs to be closed so that the system will accumulate pressure and raise the sections. As you have the top wheel bolt open, the tripod section will raise as you use the pump. When you hear the section lock out with a ping, tighten the wheel and then release the next section below. Repeat this process for each section and always remember to tighten a section before you move on to releasing the wheel bolt below and pumping. You can apply pressure to the bottom of each section next to the wheel bolts to help free each section when you are pumping. Keep an eye on the cable to avoid it getting caught up whilst you are raising the tripod. When you get to the last section, you can then twist the tripod so the back of the G bracket will not be in the way of the direction you wish to film. Tighten the final wheel bolt and thread the cable through the back of the tray. You can now take the remaining components out of the pellet case and put on the tray ready for assembly. In poor weather conditions, the tray rain cover gives protection to the components as you secure them in their appropriate positions. Unwind and attach the power cord from the power pack. Thread through the back of the tray and reconnect. After pushing the power pack to the back of the tray, connect to the PoE switch. On the switch you have a plate of 4 connections and one plate with a single connection. The single connection is the data port that will connect to your laptop, and the other 4 connections are for additional devices to be connected and powered, which includes the main cable from the camera on the tripod. A schematic can be found on the back of the switch explaining the connections. Here, the black cable is from the camera and goes into one of the 4 connections. The red cable will go to the laptop, so goes into the single connection. After connecting the cables, push the switch back onto the tray but keep it visible so you can check the indicator lights when the device is powered. Thread the 3-pin sound connection and Ethernet cable for the laptop up through the bottom of the tray. Your joystick can also be prepared on this tray. You can connect the 3-pin sound to your laptop to act as the default sound that will be synchronized to the video capture. Please note that if you have a single audio port laptop, you may need to get an adapter to take the sound in from this connection. Secure the joystick controller via the USB port and connect the Ethernet cable to your Ethernet port. You are now ready to power the system with the battery. Turn on your required power port and you will see a green light, then connect the plug to the battery. By looking at the indicator lights on the switch, you can establish whether the switch is receiving power. Please note that the battery system has a universal plug connection and sometimes the circuit board will need to adjust to whatever plug you are connecting it with. If you do not see any indication lights on the switch, please return to the battery, pull out the plug and you will see that the green light has turned to red. Switch off the battery system, wait for a few seconds and switch it back on. When the green light comes on, reposition the plug and check the switch lights again. The camera will now be powered and will make a noise and configuration movement to confirm it is ready for use. You can now open AP Capture, select your camera from the drop-down list and your choice for sound capture, then press play to see the camera. You are now ready to capture and control your AP Capture camera. We highly recommend a Halford's Power Pack as a backup battery system for when you intend to do long sessions of filming. This can act as a charger for your laptop battery and also a backup to the battery system powering the camera. To bring the tripod down, you loosen the first wheel bolt at the base of the first section of the tripod, then release the wheel bolt at the base of the pneumatic pump to relieve the pressure. Carefully thread the cable through the rubber rings as each section comes down, loosening the wheel bolt for each section as it compresses. Keep the rings aligned as each section comes down. When the tripod is fully collapsed, remember to tighten all the wheel bolts up in preparation for the next deployment. Loosen the cable plug to release the cable, then start to disassemble all of the tripod components to go back into the Pele case and carry bags. We supply an IP sound device to give greater flexibility for using high-end sound capture, which is also the essential component for the sound capture when streaming to Facebook or YouTube with the live streaming plugin. This device has a pigtail connector, so you can utilize either the 3-pin connection to your sound device or use an XLR connector. It is connected to one of the spare ports on the PoE switch and is self-powered from the switch. This is the best way to get high quality sound into your capture and live streaming. AP Wireless will create an industrial wireless cloud across the area you are filming. This will allow you to have a wireless connection back to the system and can be utilised in many different processes, including synergy to other video analysis tools that are using the IP feed. It simply connects again to one of the spare ports on the PoE switch. The system requires power, and again you can make use of the Halford's Power Pack, so that this can be done in any environment with your own power source. If your risk assessment has determined that you need to use the guy rope system, you first need to adjust the guy ropes for general use. When you purchase the system, the guy ropes will be at their longest position. Carefully unwind the rope and avoid twisting it. Move the rope tension adjuster to a midway point and wind the rope back onto the holder. Raise the first tripod section halfway so that you can easily reach the connectors at the top of the first section, and position the G-bracket so it is not obscuring the direction you wish to film. This will then move the connectors to the position where you will connect the guy ropes. Connect all 3 guy ropes and unwind into the position they will be secured in the ground. Raise the tripod as normal and fully tighten each section as you go, maintaining the position of the G-bracket as it rises. As a standard measure, take 3 strides away from the tripod and position the adjuster to strike the ground at that point. This distance out will change depending on your environment, different terrain, and when you're operating on an uneven surface. Drive the spike into the ground at an angle to the tripod, clip on the adjuster, then pull the rope through so that it holds in place without putting any pressure on the tripod. Note that the rope should be loose at this point. Repeat this process on all 3 guy ropes. Return to the first rope and give a slight adjustment to tighten it. This needs to be a very light tighten and then move to the next rope until all 3 ropes have the same pressure. You will find it does not take much pressure to create a position where each rope can act against each other, providing the tripod with greater stability. Remember to tighten each rope a little bit at a time, as adjusting each rope a few times is the required process. Avoid over tightening.